Have you ever been censored? By definition, that means any published information that has been suppressed, altered, or deleted as objectionable. Has anyone you know been censored? Have you ever been silenced on social media? Have you had your social media account suspended or even terminated for posting your opinion? Have you or anyone you know been canceled? You know what being canceled is? That's where no media anywhere will host you on their platform. AT&T, Comcast, Google, NBC, ABC, Fox, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of them just blackball you. I know you've seen examples of it. Are you a member of the press that's been denied information or access? Did you know there have been doctors, nurses, educators, and professionals at all levels not only being canceled, but fired from their jobs for voicing what they believe to be the truth, only to find out later that what they said really was the truth? We now know that certain global news has actually been suppressed or given a backseat to sensationalized nonsense. Did you know that all that is illegal? That's right. It's unlawful to restrict your ability to publicly express your opinion. I would think it would be obvious to most people by now that information is controlled by what can only be called the administrative state in clear cooperation with big business. Here, take a look at this.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about troubling and irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Believe it or not, that is legal, and that is where they get you. You see, nearly all the news agencies that we have trusted over the years are controlled by only a few companies, and since there are no actual laws preventing them from lying to the public, the new corporatocracy media believes they have the legal ground to just relentlessly dish it out, and since their power is as deep as it is wide, they can effectively limit how much information you get access to, all the while pumping a completely biased state narrative. It's quite easy to see how we might miss a few things if the balance of information is skewed 90%, if not more, in one direction. And that's where it becomes illegal. Suppression of information or censorship is illegal in this country, no matter what form it takes. Many of us already know this, but don't know what to do about it. Now think of the First Amendment as your shining beacon of hope for liberty and freedom, because it is the very cornerstone of our republic. You see, when those words were put to paper, they did so with an unyielding belief that people have power in the freedom of speech and expression. They understood that a government that respects these fundamental rights is one that respects the very essence of its people. The First Amendment is at the forefront of the Bill of Rights, not by accident, but by design. They knew that in order to build a nation that would stand the test of time, they needed to protect the unalienable right of every individual to speak their mind, to assemble freely, and to worship as they please, but especially to hold their government accountable without fear of retribution. This First Amendment isn't just some dusty old parchment paper relegated to history books. It's a living testament, kept alive by us, to the enduring importance of free speech. It reminds us that we have the right to voice our opinions, even if they challenge the status quo, even if they make people uncomfortable, even if it makes ourselves uncomfortable, and especially when they challenge authority. It empowers us to be catalysts for change, to question the system, and to demand justice. The First Amendment is not just some legal provision, it's a philosophical statement. It's a declaration that we are a nation of ideas, of debates, and of relentless pursuit of truth. It's a proclamation that we don't fear dissent. In fact, we welcome it because it keeps us sharp, accountable, and forever growing and evolving. But with great power comes great responsibility. We must exercise our freedom of speech wisely and always with the consideration for the rights of others. The First Amendment isn't a shield to hide behind for hate speech, harassment, violence, or to violate the rights of others, but it is the sword we need and already have to cut through these increasingly restrictive chains of censorship and authoritarianism. So let the spirit of the First Amendment infuse every breath you take from here on out, but also embrace the responsibility that comes with your freedom. Stand up for those whose voices have been stifled. Let's hold those that violate our rights acknowledged in the First Amendment accountable. And remember that this extraordinary gift bestowed upon us by divinity itself at birth remains one of the greatest achievements in the history of self-governance. So cherish it, protect it, and go out and use it to change the world, for goodness sakes. Aloha.